welcome to the Festival of Storytellers.
I can't tell you how excited I am to be on right now. It's been a couple of weeks of excitement, getting prepared, and I've done a lot of things in my life, but this has got to be close to the top.
Thank you, and Reader's Magnet, and thank you, John, for putting this forth and taking the chance on us authors in presenting this out to the world.
I've enjoyed this immensely, Joanne.
Ellie, so have I. Thank you for who you are, and thank you, Reader's Magnet. You all are beautiful, and you've worked so very hard, and we are blessed.
We are.
I thank everybody that's involved with this process, because we know writers need readers and writers need publishers. We thank Reader's Magnet and everybody that's involved. I love Reader's Magnet. They say, we share your stories with the world.
Hello, everyone. It's Renee Servello. I've come back for my third live stream. I'm so happy to be with you today. And I don't know how many of you were with us last week and yesterday, but for those that maybe were not, I have 3 books, or 2 so far, and 1 is in production. You're kidding. I'm a senior. And the second book is Humor All the Way. And right now we have a pet rabbit who I wrote a story about her. She's a sweet little bunny, lives with us in the house, and she's in production right now. She's Freckles Servello, and she's very excited to be joining the book world. And so hopefully she'll be out soon, and you can buy her little book for Christmas for your children, because it's a very moving little story how we adopted her, and she's part of the family. And then not only do we have animals out there that would love to be adopted, but we have many children, and it would be special if we could adopt some of those children. So since I went over yesterday, I'm sorry, everybody. I'm going to not go into so much detail about everything today. But my topic for this afternoon is one that you will think is strange coming from me. It's how to climb the corporate ladder, which I did. Everybody looks at me and the jokes I make, and they're like, nah, I did. I really did climb the corporate retail ladder. And it is possible. So one of the ways that I began that climb was with Dow Chemical. They have an office here in Houston. And I had read a lot about Dow, that it was a very good company and so forth and so forth. So I went over to their building here in Houston 4 times. And 4 times they told me they had no openings, and that was it. So on the 4th time I went in, and the lady who was in charge of human resources came out and said, I've got to meet this persistent person. And that would be me. So we went on back to her office, and we talked, and she said, we have a permanent temporary department here in Dow Chemical, and is that what you think you might be interested in? I said, that is perfect for me, because I don't want a full-time job. I would like a temp job. And if I could be a temp for Dow Chemical and not go anywhere else, just stay in your building in various departments, that would make me very happy. That would fit my personality. So she said, we have no openings in that department, but if you will agree, I will send you off to a department tomorrow, and you will be there temporarily until I can get you in the temp program. And I'm going to send you to communications, as in telephones. And I'm thinking, does that mean I stare at a wall and talk all day long? She says, that's exactly what you would be doing. I said, that is so not me. But if I've been here 4 times, hey, June, welcome back. Glad to have you. So if I'm going to be here for the long term, then, I'm going to do this, and I think it's going to work out. So I was there exactly 3 weeks in communications, and she came and got me. She said, you have your spot on the temporary roster. So I became one of 34 temps, and I loved it because I got to go all around the building whenever they needed a temp. And one of the cute little stories is I began to have lunch with this lady named Eloise, and she was the president's right-hand man, and she would never take vacation. She told me, she said, Renee, everybody in this company wants my job, so I just don't take vacations. I'm not going to let them get a foot into my pie, so to speak. And I said, well, try me out, because I like moving. I don't want your job or anybody else's job. I like circulating in the company and in the different departments. So she tried me out. She left for a week, and I was able to handle her job. And she came back, and we had lunch, and she said, I guess you're going to tell me now that you loved it and you want my job. And I said, no, I'm going to tell you I loved it, and I do not want your job. Again, I'm being very honest. I like to circulate and keep seeing different people. So from then on, Eloise took normal vacations, and she was living her life. And I was happy to provide that for her. She trusted me. So unfortunately, in the early 80s, oil, chemical, gas, the bottom began to fall out of the markets. And Dow Chemical had to disband their temporary program. So all 34 of us were let go. And that was a very sad day, because that was a very good company. So I got the idea at that point, from working all the time, that, I didn't have time to dash off and get birthday cards, to get a snack, to get this, you're just always busy. So I thought, tenant service store. Why don't I check into opening a tenant service store in an office building? Well, Amoco was opening a 22-story high-rise in West Houston. And so I went and talked to them, and I knew nothing about commercial real estate or anything. I just forged ahead. So I met with the real estate man, and Bill, and he was very, very nice to such a greenhorn. He could pick up I was green. But anyway, he put up with me, and I said, well, I would like some space in your beautiful lobby, and whatever the customers want, I will get for them. And I think it will work out beautifully. And he said, Renee, you do not want in the middle of our beautiful lobby. It is way too expensive. Why don't we keep you in the lobby, but move you down, 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 down? So once I realized the pricing for the middle of the lobby versus where I ended up, I was so appreciative of Bill's comments and suggestions. So I moved into my little store, and whatever the employees asked for that would make their life easier, I got it into the store. And I started doing all sorts of things. I signed up with a florist in town that I could take flower arrangement orders. She would produce them and deliver them. And then my little shop would make a portion of that. And hi, Renee. Oh, thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. Very nice comment. And so, at that point, we were still processing pictures, photographs. We didn't have our cameras. So I signed up with a service. They could drop their film off and pick up their pictures. Whatever they wanted, Renee got it for them. And newspapers, magazines, greeting cards, whatever they wanted. So we had it. And after only 9 months, I couldn't believe it, a man called Russ started calling on me. If he was in Houston, he would drop by the store. If he couldn't make it, he would call. Once a month, he called. Renee, let's talk about us taking over your store, buying it from you. He loved the building. He wanted in. And he and his wife, Carol, I believe, owned the largest tenant service store company in the United States and the Hawaiian Islands. And it was a very good deal, but I love my little store. I had only been running it for 9 months. And so I kept saying no, and he kept calling. And finally, my husband and I decided it's sort of silly to keep hanging on when he's offering you a good deal. So my husband told me, you love what you're doing. So tell Russ, you love what you're doing. Could you manage his store, which would be much bigger? And he would probably move up to the main lobby. And so I asked him that, and he said, oh, for sure. That would make my life so much easier. That means we don't have to go out and find a manager, and the employees in the building all know you, you know them. So he said, I think it would be a very easy fit. So I stayed in his store, and then he asked me if I would manage the store across the street in a large bank building, which I managed the 2 stores. And then all of a sudden, they are looking for a regional manager. They had so many downtown stores, and then they had so many suburb stores that they needed a second regional manager. And every manager in town sent in a resume except Renee. And I didn't dare, because I didn't have a degree and I didn't think they would be interested. Oh, June, thank you. You're so sweet. I appreciate that. I think June likes me. We have a good camaraderie going here. Thank you. But anyway, so, we did make all of this work. And then they began to have some problems, and they needed to get another regional manager. That one left, and they asked me if I would go downtown and have my office downtown instead of in the suburbs, and sort of run the whole show until they could get another regional, which they did. And so we were both based downtown. And that was a very fulfilling job. I loved it, and I got the job. And the rest is sort of history with that. Mark is back. Is that right? Oh, do you think it's a good idea? No, Mark, we can't stop the show. The show is moving. But thank you for wanting to join me. But so I did get the job, and then I moved up, and then I moved downtown and kept this up until they were having some problems. So then I lost that job. And so I thought, well, what now? So I saw an ad in the paper for another well-known national retail chain. And they informed me that they were only going to interview 12 people. So I said, well, can I be one of them if I send my resume in and you like it? And they said, sure. So they called me back and they said, okay, you're number 1. And I said, okay. And then I thought about that. No, by the time they get to me at the tail end, number 12, they will not remember who was number 1. So I called back and said, I can't make that. Can I be number 12? And they agreed to that. So the vice president that was interviewing all day long, it looked promising. And he said, I'll call you. And then he left town. And for 3 weeks, I didn't hear from that company. And so I thought, I have bombed big time. But my husband says, go ahead and call them. Just tell them you're still interested and you'd like to discuss it further. So I did. And he said, I'm so sorry. We took all of our managers to Hawaii. And we've been on that cycle now for several weeks, and then plus getting back to the office. But anyway, what I've come up with is we would like you to fly to Dallas and interview with me. And then the president of the company wants to interview with you. And I thought, well, that was a little strange that the president would want to interview an area manager position. But anyway, I went to Dallas, and the president told me, he said, the reason I'm talking to you today is that we're looking for someone very strong for the Houston offices, stores, and we just want to be sure that we want to go a complete different direction in the Houston market, and we want to make sure we get somebody in here very strong. Tell me what your greatest asset is besides your experience in retail. And I said, this is it, the hair. And he said, the hair? And I said, yes, I'm blonde. And everyone seems to underestimate blondes. So it's always worked to my advantage. They underestimate me, makes my job of breaking down the barriers easier. And it's happened every time. So it's the hair. He loved that answer. So anyway, that happened. And then they made me a regional manager. So instead of just being over the Houston stores, I was over the Texas stores. And then years later, they came, and a friend of mine had been the first zone manager, Diane, of the company. And then she wanted to move into training all of the store managers. So that was her first love. So she moved over, and then they started interviewing for her position plus another one. They decided they had so many stores in the company, there were actually 400 at that point, that they wanted to divide the United States in half, and one person would take the East and one would take the West. So they asked me, what do you want, Renee, if you get the job? I said, West. I do not do well in cold weather, snowstorms. That's so not me. I'm so tropical. So I did get the position. And what does they say? Hi, Mark, again. How do you keep yourself looking young? I'm not. I guess it's the camera. Thank you. Love you, Mark. But anyway, so I did get the senior zone manager position, and I did travel the West. And but at the end of 16 years with the company, and all the beautiful promotions I got, I had gone way up. I was very happy what I had accomplished with the stores and with the employees and with the corporate office. And they were happy with me, I think, but I wasn't feeling well at the end of 2003. So I sent them my resignation, told them I'd be glad to train my replacement. And they're like, no. And so we talked about it for weeks, and I kept saying no. I said, something's not right, and I need to just step back and take care of Renee now, because I couldn't sleep. I had a big job, and I never went to bed before 1, 2, 3 a.m. And after years and years of no sleep, I think it just tears your body down. So I did resign and started going to my doctors. They started testing, and they found out I had an autoimmune disease. And of course, a lot of this can be brought on by stress. And my company never stressed me. I stressed myself out because I was such a perfectionist in my job that, I had to just keep going all day, all night, because I wanted it done. I met every deadline on time or early. And so I did it to myself. So that was the end of my retail career and climbing the corporate ladder, which I did do and very proud of. And so I stayed home for a few years and got my health back, and I'm normal now. And then my second love came out, and that was writing. And I had been writing for years. So I just pulled my notes out and added to them and published the first book, You're Kidding, I'm a Senior. And then I still had a lot more notes to publish. So I came out with the second book, Humor All the Way. And this is the book that the company told me. They said, Renee, let's really find out what everybody thinks of your Humor All the Way book, meaning professional people, it's not friends or family. I'm like, no. And so they said, what we would like to do is send it off to 7 professional reviewers, which they did. And I was petrified. And then when the reviews started coming back, they were all positive. They were very encouraging. And it was just a nice thing. Hi, Mark, again. How do you overcome stress when you are still working? Take your vitamins, go to gym. Jim does it for me. I've been in cardio classes for 18 years now. I don't know how much longer, but you have to do something to get rid of stress, period, something. But anyway, so the reviews came back and they were very positive. And then readers decided to do another printing of this book. And on the bottom, of course, they have 7 reviews on the inside, but on the bottom, they put a review, and it was from Veluso, and they say, I didn't expect to be laughing through almost every page in the book like I did. And they're from the Manhattan Book Review, and I was just blown away as I read the reviews. And I'm thinking, manna from heaven, how did this happen? And how did 7 people understand my humor? That was a big thing to me, because I always think people are just not going to understand the humor that I come out with. And, everybody has their own type of humor, but I thought they're just not going to understand it. But I think they got it. Every one of them, all 7 of them got it. And boy, what a good feeling that is. So the point of this talk today is to say that you can accomplish really anything you have it in your head that you can accomplish. And once it gets there, you just stay focused and you go for it. It doesn't matter. Just go for it. And maybe it's not with this company. Maybe it's with another company, or, just think it out and then go for it. Because I have tried several things getting up the corporate ladder. And, I always grew from that experience. And so, and along the way, I've met wonderful people that I am still friends with. I'm still friends with Diane from one of the companies, and Carol, who she and her husband owned all the tenant service stores that bought out my little store. Carol and I are still in contact. I mean, I'm friends with so many people that these relationships, you just can't say, well, I'm moving on and I don't have time for you anymore. No, I hate to lose anybody, friends, family, anybody. I love to continue the relationships. So my relationships, my friendships are extremely important to me, and you have to work on them. You have to remember to call people, and you send them a little note every now and then, and you keep track, because they have things sometimes going on in their lives that are not good, and you need to back your friends up. So that's what I've always tried to do, and I'm not perfect at it. I forget, and I have calendars, but I write down the wrong dates on the calendars, people's birthdays, and but that's part of it. I think they know I mean well. I just sort of do it backwards sometimes. One thing I did want to talk about, which I didn't too much, but whether you want to order my book or the other authors' books, my books you can order through reneeservello.com. You can order them through Reader's Magnet Bookshop. You can order them through Amazon. You can order them through Barnes and Noble, because, you have to have a way to get our books, right? So that is the way. It's very easy. And I'm hoping Freckles will be out soon. So I would love it if you could all share Freckles, especially if you have children or grandchildren, or if you have adopted a pet or a child in life. It's like I said, I did name the book Freckles Finds a Home, but then I thought, no, it's so much more than that. She is part of the family. We have adopted her. So now I changed it to Freckles Finds a Forever Home. And one other quick thing I wanted to bring up, I was telling you about my flying career, my 13 months flying career. And one of the things that I loved most about it was, I don't know if you are aware, but sometimes companies or the military hire charter planes and staff to take extra people wherever. So during my era, we had charters, a lot of charters that were hired by the military, and they were to take the military from Dallas heading west. And of course, they all knew where they were going. They were going to Vietnam. And it was a tough time in our history. And I felt very bad about what our military was going through. So I volunteered for every charter that the military chartered because I wanted to do my part for our people that were going off. And so I thought I couldn't stand at the door and cry as they were boarding our planes, but maybe they might like a little respite from the terror that they were facing and the sadness of leaving their families. So I asked them, I said, some of you may want to sleep on my planes. Okay. Some of you may not want to talk. Okay. But what I came up with is you have a lot of stress right now. Would you like to play games? We have prizes and we'll just have a fun ride and we're going to laugh a little bit. So it's your choice. And raise your hands if you do not want to participate. And do you know, on all of those flights, not one hand ever went up. They wanted to be sidetracked. They wanted a diversion from where they were going and what they had to do. And so we did that. And that's my proudest moment in my flight career. I loved helping them out in some small way. And I think they appreciated it because the poor guys were not traveling with pens and pencils and stamps and envelopes, but somehow they would take the back of an airline ticket and write a little note about me, send it to the airline, or they would have a little cocktail napkin that, when they got through eating their meal, they would write on the back of it. Poor guys, they had so much going on in their lives and so much worry, but they took time to send those sweet, sweet letters to my airline, and it always just meant the world, and it still does to me. I mean, that's all so fresh in my memory, what was going on then, and I loved every one of them. They were all great, and wished I could have taken their worry away more. But anyway, since I just kept talking yesterday and went over and over and over, I think our time is just about up. So if any of you have a question right now, I can catch you quickly. This is my last day, by the way. I am on a round table. Mark, I'm sorry, but I can't help myself. Notice that you look better live than on the picture. Thank you, Mark. I don't know, but thank you very much. Appreciate it. But one of the things I wanted to say is that besides the books, thank you for supporting all of we authors. It's been wonderful having you with us. And I will be on a panel at 5 o'clock this afternoon, Central Time, and it will be about book covers. So I would strongly, strongly recommend that all of you that think you have a book inside of you, hey, call Reader's Magnet. They are the nicest people. And trust me when I say they're as nice to us when the cameras are off and behind the scenes as they are on camera and in the book signings and wherever else we all end up together. So I have found writing to be very fulfilling for me, and I enjoy it. And I enjoy the humor. I mean, I've gone from very, very serious jobs to humor now. Who knew? Sophie, do you think laughing makes you younger? I don't know if it makes you younger, but it removes the stress in my case. So I think if you can cut down on the stress, yes, you're not going to age as fast. If you wake up upset every day, I think it eventually will get to you and to your body. And it got to me when I retired from my job because I just couldn't sleep. I was such a perfectionist, and everything I did on that job, I could not go to bed until every detail was out of the way. I could not wait till the next day and postpone it. I was not that type. So I drove myself insane, which in turn drove my body insane. So I have learned what to do. So I'm saying, yes, if you can find something to laugh about, order my book. And don't ever throw it away. I told everybody yesterday, don't throw them away because the humor, you'll forget what you read. And I keep mine by my bedside, and I just keep, June, does writing energize or exhaust you? Oh, it energizes me. Oh. It equals writing a few pages of the book is equal to 5 cups of coffee. I only drink 1 cup of coffee every day. That's it. But Yes, it energizes me. And talking about it, you can see it energizes me. Now, when the camera's off, but right now I'm energized because y'all give me the energy to do this. I mean, it's wonderful. So I thank you. But so yes, so if you have a book inside of you, I say go for it. If you have a job that you want to go for, try it. Like my husband has always told me, Renee, everything you try, all they can do is say no. So if it's no, then you move on and you move on and you move on. So it's a constant state of trying to get to where you want to go or changing gears. Sometimes you just change gears. I mean, I have. Anybody can. So just stay on track with trying to end up with what your interests are at that time. And maybe 5 years later, they'll change, but that's okay. But along the way, you've got to learn faster than I did. I didn't learn fast enough. Take care of your body. Don't kill your body. You need your body. So I did mine in and I paid for it. But luckily, health-wise, I'm great now. I'm back on track. And like I say, 18 years. This is my 18th year to do cardio. And my instructor, I mean, it's a full class. It's not just me in the class. And she pretty much kills us every week. I don't know how much longer I can do cardio because I found out recently they're all a lot younger than I am. And I was shocked. So it's like, am I the oldest person in here? I don't know. It was a shock. But so, take care of your body. And I find that cardio is a huge stress reliever for me. And then I tell people, I said, look, maybe you don't have time or you're too tired to go to a gym. That's normal. So get you some weights and get in your chair at night when you're watching TV and work your weights. Anything that will get rid of your daily stress, because the stress does age you and it makes you ill. It ruins your body. So yes, whatever it takes to get you through your job and your life. Everybody has stresses, but you've got to learn to get rid of them. And what am I seeing now from Mr. J? Okay, I have 4 minutes left. So do we have any further questions? I would love to answer them now. Last day. Well, as I've said before, it's for me, this has been tonic. Being here, talking with you guys, and you guys answering and sending in message and showing your support. Because we authors, when we're writing, we're in a quiet spot. We're by ourselves. We're not talking to anybody. And so when we get the option to come out, so to speak, and visit with everyone and our readers, it's wonderful. And I hope, after all of you that have written in, Sophie, what can you advise to those people who are struggling in throwing some jokes? Well, I'm really not a perfect person to answer that. I mean, I just talk. I don't know. But advice, I would say slow down maybe, because I've heard people try to be funny and they get so nervous that they and nobody understands what they're saying. So maybe get your jokes, write them down, and work on your delivery. Not that I am a person to ask. I am not. But I know what I've seen from real comedians. And sometimes you just have to write your jokes down or your thoughts down and then practice and then go slow so that you can enunciate to where people will hear you. You don't want to kill the joke by enunciating too much, but if people can hear you, I think they'll get your joke more. So I wish you the best of luck with that. I'm not really a comedian. And so that's what I've seen from other people who are trying to break into that type of business. And Precious, you're back. Wow. Thank you for the advice. I'm so stressed lately. Well, I told you how to de-stress, and you've got to do something to get rid of it or you'll ruin your body like I nearly did mine. So even if you don't want to go anywhere, get your weights, and do it. And whatever you can think of to do, but get your mind off of your work or whatever the problem is. What you want to do is get into something that for maybe 30 minutes will get your mind off of that, so that maybe you'll have a good night's sleep, because worry will keep us awake all night long. And then we really are running our bodies down at that point. I learned the hard way. I know all about this. I learned the hard way. So you don't want to do what I did. But we must take care of our body. Here's Mark. He's back. This is my first time here, but I enjoyed listening to you. Mark, thank you for coming in. You've come in 3 or 4 times, and I love it. I love conversing with our readers, and I appreciate you coming in, and keep coming in with the other authors, because they're all very interesting. And like I say, we're having a panel discussion at oh, Mark, thank you. He just gave me a wonderful comment. Thank you. I appreciate that a lot, Mark. We're having a panel discussion on book covers, and I don't know what it's going to be like, because I've never been on one of these panel discussions, and maybe they won't call on me. I don't know. I don't know what to expect, but Central Time, 5 o'clock today, I will be on the book cover panel. So anyway, come on back, or try to get in the other authors in other days, because a lot of fascinating people are writing books these days. A lot of fascinating people are here with Reader's Magnet. And so I think you'll enjoy the other panels also. And I so appreciate your coming to me today. And I'm just not going to do what I did yesterday. I stopped reading the notes from everybody and kept talking and went way, way over my time. So I hope I didn't ruin somebody else's time. That's what I do not want to do, because everybody has their allotted time and everybody has something important to say. So I will tell you first that I'm not up here to ruin anybody else's session. It was purely accidental. But anyway, so I'm watching the clock now, and I'm paying attention, and they'll be signing me off in just a minute. But I don't know. Book signings, I don't know where all of you live, but maybe we'll be meeting at a book signing any day now. There's a lot going on in 2023. And that would be fun if we could reconnect in a city at a book signing, because I think you've heard me say that's the very best thing I have ever done, is attend the Reader's Magnet book signings. Not only do they treat us wonderfully, but the fans, the readers that come up to the booth and want to meet us and talk about the booth and the book, and then we talk to them and get their story, and it just gives you a lot of energy. So I always leave the book signing booth. I'm in the clouds after that. I love them. I love them. It's one of my most fun things to do, and we're gratified that we have you. Otherwise, it would be sort of boring if we just wrote books and never talked to anybody and never saw any of our readers. It would be boring. So let's see. Mark says again, yes, please do book signings here in Washington. Interesting. Right now, I'm signed up for Washington, and I think we will be there in August. So check in with readers, and they can let you know the dates for Washington. I don't have them yet, but that should be coming up. But would love to meet you in Washington. I missed it this last August. I don't know what happened, but I missed that one. But I heard it was a big success, and the people were really nice there. And there are several bookstores, I think Blackwell's, I'm not sure, that are carrying my book. And I wanted to talk to them. If I do go to the book signing, I wanted to talk to them about doing a book signing with them also. That would be fun. But yes, would love to see you in Washington, Mark, if it works out. So do join us. And any other questions now? I think my time is up, right? I definitely do not want to do what I did yesterday. So, Jay, are you there? Is my time up? Okay, well, I don't know, but anyway, so they're going to London this year, and Readers is going to New Orleans in January, and I cannot make that one. And then they are going, I forget where, and then London is the big one, but then they're also going back to DC. They're in upstate New York, Saratoga Springs, right this minute, and they were in Tribeca last week in New York. So they're going to some pretty good markets, and I couldn't make New York. I'm here. So I don't know, maybe soon I can get on the road again, because there's nothing like it. So hurry up, folks, write your book, send it into Reader's Magnet, and get on the road with us, so to speak. It's just amazing to be on the road with Reader's Magnet. So come on and join us. And they told me to say my closing remarks. I guess I really am disappearing now. So thanks again, guys. 3 fabulous sessions, live stream sessions I have had with you guys, and you're the ones that made it fun for me. So thank you so much. And like I say, it'd be great if we could meet on the road. Would love that. And thank you for tuning in today. And where would we be without our readers? We would be up the creek, right? So June, I know you've been in quite a bit the last 2 sessions, the last 2 days, and thank you so much. And Mark, and it's just been so many nice people that have tuned in, and I've appreciated your comments and appreciated you giving up your valuable time to talk to me via live stream, and I appreciate that. And like I said, we have interesting authors every day that are on, and so tune them in also. And we have our different panels where the authors all join in on a panel. And so that will be another first for me. I'll be doing that at 5 o'clock on that panel. So, just keep tuning in if you have the time. And, the good thing is we're all on YouTube. So if you miss a session, you can go to YouTube, write in the author's name, YouTube, Renee Servello, and guess what? Renee pops up. So you can catch us if you want to look at us at 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh, you can, because we're on YouTube. So YouTube, Renee Servello, and you can catch up with what you may have missed if you were not around when the authors or the panels were meeting. And we hope that, you enjoy the rest of the week with us. We only have a few more days, and then we're wrapping this up. And who knows what's next with Reader's Magnet? They keep coming up with great ideas. So who knows what's really going to happen next? I don't. And whenever they call me, it's usually no. And then I change my mind and I go along with whatever it is they've come up with. So I said no to this in the beginning, and then I joined in, and then I got excited, and here I am. And I've been here, for 3 times, and the 4th session will be this afternoon. So don't be like me. Don't say no to everything. I mean, they come up with fun stuff. And of course, once I get into it, I realize that I have joined fun stuff. And so I'm happy to be here. And, I wish you a good life, good health. I mean, that's very, very important. That's what I want to tell everybody. Take care of yourself, because all of us have had through the years many things that we had to take care of: family members, children, elderly parents. It just doesn't matter. We've all had things that we had to concentrate on and spend a lot of time with. And it's not easy. It's not easy. So you take care of yourself. You are important. And if you take care of yourself, well, you'll last a lot longer. I mean, I could kick the bucket in an hour, but I don't know. None of us know. But just take care of yourself so that you'll be around for your family and your friends. And that's the name of the game. We want to be with our family and our friends. And that's the most important time in our lives. So I'm here to say now that I'm being ushered off of the stage. Thanks a million, guys. From my heart, thanks a billion. You guys give me this personality, give me this energy, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And it's been fun. So goodbye, and I hope we meet in the near future. That would be wonderful. I never like to give up a friend. So thank you again.